Enchantée.
Hello lovelies, I'm Angela and this is Parisienne Farmgirl. Bienvenue, welcome to the channel. So here I am. I feel like I haven't really been with you. I know I had a video last week, but I'm just feeling a little bit disconnected from YouTube, and fair enough. There is so much going on right now. So right now, as I'm filming, it's been 3 weeks since I got home from my trip. I shared the trip with you last week. If you enjoyed that video, thank you so much. We had a wonderful time, and there's so much happening right now because, of course, I am prepping for now the October trip, and there's so much interest in the 2025 trips. We're working very hard to put those together for you. So many of you responded last week to the link that I offered if you wanted first dibs on the 2025 trips information. So wow. So I've been at my desk and working with my contacts in France and trying to put together the very best weeks for you for April of 2025. And I'm pretty geeked about it, pretty excited. So those will be unveiled shortly. And again, if you want that, you can check the link in the upper right-hand corner of this video right now. Or maybe it's over here. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. And we'll make sure you get on that list. And then my focus is October. And I know there are many of you watching that are coming in October. I'm so excited to meet you. I got home from France 3 weeks ago today and started right in on this floor. I sort of took all my creative energy and all the good juju that I was feeling. I always come home sort of on a high and just channeled it right into getting this floor finished.
On this side, and I try to follow the pattern.
Oh,
okay. Don't dig into it because we want smooth. See, look at
like this.
Yeah.
Then you do that.
Then there's a This is a little secret. Next year, I'm celebrating a significant birthday. I'll let you figure out what it is. And so I'm even more diligent with my skin than I have been ever. I know there's a lot of hype about devices. I had never tried one until this little cutie, the UFO 3 by Farmhouse, Sweden. This is a deep facial hydration device, and it delivers. I've been using it for a couple months, and it gives the benefits of 5 spa facials. I've never even had a facial in my life, and now I can do it every day at home if I want to. It increases your skin's hydration by 126%, and as a result, it's clinically proven to reduce the signs of aging. You know what they are: fine lines, wrinkles, dullness, in just 7 days. The UFO3 offers full spectrum LED therapy. It's gentle and non-invasive, and it's an effective way to rejuvenate and transform your skin. Thermotherapy uses gentle heat. Cryotherapy uses extremely low temperatures to treat the skin. Now, the incredible thing, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it's rarely discounted. As a Parisienne Farmgirl viewer, you can follow the link in this video description and get 30% off. The first 50 of you to make a purchase are going to get an extra 10% off, which is just incredible. Your skin's the outfit you wear every day. Take care of it.
Now, everything is later than I wanted it to be. I know how it goes. You know how it goes. You're remodeling, nothing goes as planned. We had the power outage, and that was just so chaotic to try to be getting out the door with a power outage. So the power came on, I think, 2.5 days before I finally left. But those 4 days of no power, I mean, yeah, you can live off grid, people do it. It's great if you're prepared. We were not prepared. Yeah, we had matches and candles and all that, but the generators were going to keep all the food preserved in the freezers, and you know, there's dishes. I was washing dishes in a Rubbermaid tub. I was boiling water, you know, lighting Luga with a match, boiling water, dumping it in a Rubbermaid, washing dishes, you know, all the things that you have to do when your power goes out and your water is attached to, you know, the well pump is electric. So teaching the kids to take buckets of water and to flush the loos. And I was so proud of them. They really were, they really just saw what needed to be done and did it. Without asking, I'd turn around and they would be gathering buckets and collecting water that was dripping off of the eaves. And it was just really an incredible time. I was really proud of my kids and how they handled it. That doesn't take away from the fact that it was extremely stressful to have that happen right before I'm gearing up to go on a trip where I'm going to be taking care of another batch of people. But as you saw last week, we had a great time. I got home and more insult to injury, we all came down with 2 back-to-back illnesses right when I got home. So literally, as you're watching this, I felt great for a couple days. I'm so glad I had a few days right when I landed where I did feel good and we were able to grout. And then the other day, I didn't film it because you didn't want to see me, but I just got a wild hair and I went sort of crazy and grouted the second half of the kitchen in one day, which is nuts because it's taken me little 2-hour chunks at a time. And I don't know if it was just adrenaline or sheer insanity, but I went sort of nuts. And I'm very pleased to announce that the entire kitchen is grouted. And now I am just gearing up to seal it one last time. I need to get out to my garden. So much needs to be done. It feels like it's already the middle of May and I'm behind. That's just sort of in my head because I'm still mentally stuck after all these years. I'm still mentally 300 miles south. And I just have to someday come to terms with the fact that I'm in zone 5B. I get Canadian radio stations if I turn in right on the dial, and it's just like we have tulips and the buds are just now coming out. And despite what I see on social media, despite what I've experienced in the past, I'm not behind. Everything is going to be okay. But I always have this sort of frantic feeling at this time of year. So I am going to get these floors sealed, and then I'm going to spend a little time in my garden. And then I'm going to share with you everything else that we are going to do in this From Chaos to Cuisine project. One of the things that we are going to do, and I know you've seen, if you've been following for a long time, you've seen these cabinets on the channel in the kitchen forever. They were in our previous home and we sort of used them like saloon doors, but they've just been hanging here. This was sort of the step one with the unfitted kitchen idea, and I thought we would do this a long time ago. They're hanging here and we're going to cut into the envelope of the house. As you can see, the wall's very thick. So we're gonna cut in and build built-in cabinets with these favorite doors of mine. I love these doors. I can't wait to finally use them for something that's non-decorative. So we have our work cut out for us with this kitchen. There's a long way to go. This is one of the things I'm most excited about. Do I wish the built-ins were over closer to where most of the activity is in the kitchen? Yes, of course I do, but it's not gonna hurt to store dishes and some of my heavier, less used pots and pans here, and I can't wait. Behind me right here is the Drapers Table that I found. I'm just in love with it. I love having this workspace right here in front of Luga. We are having a big piece of marble made for that. So that will happen eventually. I'm hoping within the next 6 weeks or so, but that's gonna really bring in all my marble. I have a lot of Carrara marble accents in the kitchen. I have the big piece on another island. That's gonna really bring it together. Of course, right here is the butcher's rack I shared with, the baker's rack I shared with you the other day. And some of the pieces that I got in Paris, I'm really loving this. I'm gonna set this down. This is pretty busy, which is fine because this is everything I need sort of right next to the range. But because of the busyness of this, just sort of design-wise, I'm going to try to make some things in the kitchen more simple. So if you're following along over on Instagram, you know I'm pretty overwhelmed with this idea of sort of where everything is going to go. So I'm gonna take you to the other side of the kitchen and share a little bit of my dilemma with you. In my Old World Design Society, which if you click the link in the upper right-hand corner, for YouTube viewers, you can enjoy a month free if you want to see what we're all about and what we're doing over there. Boy, it's really dark in here, isn't it? We meet once a week for coffee and we sort of share our projects that we're working on for the weekend. And so recently someone asked me what I was going to be doing with this wall. So here is the plan. I am taking down the wallpaper because I will eventually do the Monet tile on this side of the room. That will take the better part of a year for me to hand paint all of those. But we do have vintage windows, so we're gonna be cutting in right here, and we're going to be cutting in right here, and that is going to bring in, you can see from the video quality, this room does not get a lot of light at all. That is going to bring in some much needed daylight into this space. So one of the things I love using in our home, because we are taking this 1980s home and making it look old, I love using salvaged pieces from our community. We live in a very special community here in northern Wisconsin. It is a vacation destination. There's a lot of nostalgia attached to the area. So later on this year, you're going to see us put a Dutch door in as our front door. That's really special to us because it's a Dutch door from the place we used to go camping all the time before we lived here. These windows are special because there is there was an establishment on the lake that has now since been turned into condos, but it was a very nostalgic establishment. Families had been coming there for decades, and it had like a series of cabins and a dining hall, and they tore it down. So sad to build these $1 million condos, of course, and we were invited in to pick out what we wanted. Well, these windows, here, I think I have this upside down. These windows are from the dining hall. And so we're gonna cut in right here and put these windows in, and they will swing open into the conservatory. Got some great hardware there, and just like I said, going to bring in much needed light. I have some other paned windows that will go in the center over the sink, and I love this. So the French doors up in my office are from a cottage in the area. The front door, which will be a Dutch door, is from the place we used to go camping, from sort of the main cabin where we used to go camping. These windows will be from an establishment that people in the community loved, and ironically, it was the place where my son held his first job. So all sorts of nostalgic touch points, connections to our community, and we're bringing in these architecturally salvaged items to make our own home look old, which I think is so cool. So we'll cut in here, we'll cut in over there. The copper sink will come back. Don't worry, the copper sink is coming back, but when we first moved in, we put it in and we just bought really cheap hardware, like $89 faucets. Do not do that. We knew a cheap faucet is never worth it, but we have some handmade unlacquered brass being made by a company in Morocco. I will put the link with a special discount in this video. I don't have the faucets yet to show you. I'll put the link in there anyways, and then when I share the faucets with you, I'll share the link again. But all of those windows are going to swing open in the conservatory, and I think it's gonna really brighten up this side of the room. And you know how much I love Monet's kitchen at Giverny. He's got fabulous windows, fabulous light. I think that's really going to help. So that's sort of what we have to do on this side of the room. And let's see, the ceiling desperately needs to be painted. Again, it's been 5 years, 6 years since we painted this ceiling, and without having an exhaust fan for the stove, you can imagine how gross that gets. And then there is the dilemma of what color to paint the walls. So it's not a bright kitchen at all. The window behind the camera right now is an eastern window under an overhang. Very little light. The windows where I showed you where the copper sink goes, those are southern windows, but they're interior. So there's a whole enclosed porch outside of them. And so and then the windows on this side are northern windows. So there's really no direct light streaming into the kitchen. So it's a dark kitchen. I'm really hesitant to paint it yellow. I love a yellow kitchen. I've been experimenting with some blues, and the color by Farrow & Ball called Churlish under the chair rail, which is the color that I have in the living room. I love this color. I haven't quite decided what to do. If I do a pale yellow on the walls, it will not be that dark. It will be much lighter. I don't want to take away from Luca. I love her and her blueness. She needs to be the rock star of this kitchen. And the kitchen already has a bit of a dark yellow vibe anyways, so I'm hesitant to paint them yellow. So stay tuned and see what I do with these walls, because it's going to be interesting. What else do we need to do in here? We need to add trim. We need to put trim up. We need to put the door back on, and I think that might be it. Eventually, I would like to exchange this window. These little nooks and crannies, we're here in the Midwest, they just get covered with bugs and moths, and everything's always creeping in, even with the screens, and it's just not an ideal situation. So that's, need some Reynolds wrap. That's an update on the kitchen. I have to figure out how I'm going to configure it. I have a lot of cabinets and hutches and the espresso machine and dishes and everything that I need to bring back into this space. And I got 2 dishwashers. Check it out. So yes, my children wash the dishes, but I really get tired of saying, whose turn is it to do the dishes? Who needs to do the dishes? And then they have work schedules and school schedules. And so I'm forever just like seeing the dishes sit there. It's been a long time. It's been many years since our family had a dishwasher. And I have a friend who sells scratch and dent dishwashers. So I got 2 for less than the price of 1. And I'm so excited. I don't think I can contain myself. The thought of just like loading the dishwasher, and I know it still works. Don't tell me. I know. I've had both. I've lived with a dishwasher and lived without it. And at this point, I'll take the dishwasher. I don't have a refrigerator in the kitchen. I don't have an ice maker. I don't have anything like modern. I have Luca. I love her. And so I'm really excited about these. They're gonna go on either side of the copper sink, and I'm going to cupboard them in so you will never know they're there. So happy Mother's Day to me. So that is a little update on the From Chaos to Cuisine project list. Actually, I'm looking at myself on the video. Over there we go. Over there, that entryway right there, I forgot to add that to the list. That is going to be turned into an arch. It doesn't have any molding around it. It's just sort of this weird, very modern cutout. And so we're gonna arch it and bring it down and make it sort of cozy. Thankfully, Luca is done with her tile. We're gonna expand that tile around, paint the ceiling, paint the walls, make the arch, build the cutouts, build the built-ins, cut out the windows, put the Dutch door in. We're gonna paint the doors in the boot room green, which I'm super happy about. Put in the dishwashers, put the baseboard back in. The list is never ending. Probably from about this point out, we will only work on the kitchen on rainy days because the garden is calling. I'm so happy you're here for it. Be sure to watch another video if you'd like information about the April 2025 Paris trips. If you want to come along, we're going to do wine tastings, cooking classes, Paris flea markets, museums. We're going to really live large. Click this link right here. I'll make sure you are one of the first people to find out about the trips. Thank you for being here, and I will see you all again very soon. A bientôt.